Okay, so for today's workout, so this is a brainchild of Coach Zach. So he actually made the warm up for today, which is kind of interesting and nice. I don't have to think about anything. Um, so we'll run through it, but it'll be overhead reverse lunges, bird dogs, dead bugs, and glute bridges. And it's just going to be like a 30, like we're going to go through them each 3 times for 30 seconds without any rest in between them. And so like, don't worry if you miss out on a couple seconds. I'm just going to kind of keep kind of shouting them out, switching to the next one whenever it's time, and just kind of be following along as best as you can. But yeah, we'll kind of zip through that. Idea is to get us warm, maybe break a sweat by the time the warm-up's done, and then get into the main meat of the workout, which is actually relatively strength focused for today. So it is a 25-minute strength AMRAP. So it's 25 minutes, and the reps start at 10, and like each round you get through, you go down 1 rep until you get to 5. Once you get to 5, if you get to 5, then you just turn around and come back up. But chances are, I think we'll probably maybe make it to 5 and then probably be pretty close to done with time. But if you do get to 5 and you get through the whole thing, start going back up towards 10. But the idea for this one is not necessarily to race through it as fast as possible. It's to focus on strength a little bit. And if you're focusing on strength, it'll be impossible to just race, because generally with strength, you need a little bit of time to recover. But if you don't have equipment at all for building a lot of strength, or if these exercises aren't working for you and you're not feeling they're challenging your strength at all, then you might as well just race through it and be explosive and whatever. And you'll still definitely get like, it'll be a little bit more of like a burn style benefit for you. Cool. All right, so then with that, the exercises for this, there are 6 of them. The first one is he had a kettlebell or dumbbell heel elevated squat. So if you can find something to elevate your heels, just where you're like stepping on it and it's like gonna, raise this is your back of your foot, front of your foot, it just raises it up a little bit. And that's essentially what he's going for. If you don't have that, just do a regular squat. But I found some, like, I was having a hard time finding something for this, but I found some bean bags for like bag toss or cornhole or whatever. And so that's what I'm using. But if you can find anything that you think would work for that, use it. Otherwise, just do a regular squat. That'll still be good. I think the idea is that you can just get into the squat deeper and it'll work your quads a little bit harder. But the second one, for that, I'll show it to you. I just want you guys to be, since it's a strength AMRAP, if you have 2 weights, you can hold them both racked like this, and it's really going to challenge your core as well as your quads. If you only have 1 heavy weight, goblet style, and all the normal stuff with squat form. So making sure that your knees are not going in. Want to make sure this isn't happening. Want to try to be as upright with our torso as we can, so not bent forward. All right. So then, second one is kettlebell / dumbbell Romanian deadlift. Okay. So Romanian deadlifts. Whenever you hear people say like Romanian deadlifts, straight leg deadlifts, they're pretty much the same thing. So you'll just be doing a straight leg deadlift. That's what a Romanian deadlift is. It's just like no bend in the knee. Only as much as your hips will hinge is how far you go. So what that's going to be is, all right, so we just back up a little bit. Here, sticking your butt straight back. And then as soon as you run out of like basically flexibility, so I can't go all the way down for Romanian deadlifts necessarily. So I'm going down. And then as soon as I'm like here, like, okay, I can't stretch any further without doing like this. So that's where I stop. We don't want to get any range of motion from our back rounding. So as soon as your hamstrings start feeling like they can't go any further, stop and come back up. And usually on Romanian deadlifts, I like to go down nice and slow and really stretch them out. And it's going to do a lot of damage and really help them to get stronger. So that's what I'll say for that. If you have bands, you can do band deadlifts as well. I know that's something we talked about before. And I have one dumbbell hanging onto it like this. I'm probably going to eventually switch to one in each hand once we start getting heavier and reps. So if you have 2 weights, don't be afraid to hang on to one in each hand and come down to. Awesome. Cool. So that's number 2. Number 3 is push-ups with shoulder taps. Okay, so that is gonna just be stuff on the way. All right, I can't really see me. All right, so push up, tap, tap, push up, tap, tap. For aggression, it could be halfsies, so down on the toes, up on the knees, tap, tap, down on the toes, up on the knees, tap, tap. Whatever is going to be a challenge for your strength, do that thing. If you're like on the verge, on the borderline of it, do the halfsy one where you're down on the toes and just go super slow and controlled the whole way down for those, and you're going to get a lot more benefit of getting that harder, the eccentric motion of that harder movement on your toes. Yeah, and it'll make you a lot stronger. So do that. And obviously, I mean, if you're even, if you need more aggression, obviously just the fall out kneeling, kneeling up, kneeling down. Also very good. All right. Then single arm row, kettlebell or dumbbell, whatever you have. So doesn't really specify what type of row necessarily, as long as you are rowing. So I'll kind of let it be a row of your choice. I'll show you a couple different row varieties for this. One option for a single arm row is a 2-point row where you have kind of your elbow on your knee and you are rowing. Typically, you're able to lift a good amount of weight doing this. Similar to that, you could do a 3-point row, pretty much the same motion, except you have your hand on a chair, rowing like that. Those are probably the 2 strongest in terms of like able to pull the most weight. If you don't have a ton of weight to make it that you would need that, or that it would be hard, you can do a single arm bent over row. So bent here, rowing back. So I don't have any support for my back. My core and my lower back are kind of doing all the work. So if you would normally rip through like 10 2-point or 3-point rows, it'll be a lot harder without any support like that, and this would probably be what you should do for that. So those are kind of 3 different options for the single arm row. So choose wisely. Choose something that'll challenge you, and obviously you can always go to a different one. If one starts out fine, then it gets too hard, switch to a easier version where you can lift more. Sweet. Then dumbbell lateral raise. Okay, so these are essentially the ones where we are. I'll show you with one. I got one that's a decent weight that I could probably do it with. Okay, so imagine I have one in each hand, but you might not. So you could do this single arm as well. But you'll be here, lifting this up, out to the side. And so you're trying to keep your arm relatively straight, but obviously we don't have like a billion weights to choose from. So if you have a weight that's like too heavy for you to do this with a straight arm, if you just get like a slight bend in your arm, like it might just make it just perfect for you, where you're able to kind of finish out the reps for it. So that's sometimes what I'll do if my weight's a little bit too heavy, is I'll just get a little bit of a bend in the arm, come up, and then try to really control the weight on the way down, okay? Because sometimes if it's too heavy, that's really all you can do is get it up and just try to have it come down as slowly as possible. Let's see here. Yeah, that seems good for lateral raise. Something that I've heard and that makes sense for these is try not to make sure you're not like, oh, I don't know, like shoulders forward doing something like weird like this. Try to almost have like a little bit of like external rotation, like not letting your elbows come up higher than your hands. That's kind of how people start pinching stuff in here. So if you keep your, like when you're coming up, if you try to bring your hands up also, it keeps your rotator cuff active when you're doing it. It's a little extra tidbit. So if you can do that, do it. I'll try to be showing you as I'm doing it as well. Beautiful. Then kneeling kettlebell / dumbbell halos. So this one is kind of like a core, kind of like a shoulder exercise here. All right, so typically for these, I am kneeling. Oh, you can stay in camera. Can't really see everything. Can't have everybody win on these. All right, so I'll back way up. So kneeling, circling around my head, keeping my shoulders active, keeping my core active. So the further back you reach, the more your core will work during these. All right, so I'm trying to make sure I'm getting way back as I'm doing these. For these, you know, obviously if we're starting at 10, that'll be 10 one way, 10 the other way. Yeah, awesome shoulder and core if you're nice and straight and getting the weight nice and far back behind your head. All right, so with that, we will get into this warm up here. Okay, so once again, it's going to be overhead reverse lunges, bird dogs, dead bugs, glute bridge, and I'll try to be shouting them out too. All right, now I'm going to get our little timer started. Don't fret, you know, don't worry if you miss 5 seconds of one. As soon as you see me switching, and I'll try to shout it out, just switch with me. All right, so we're starting here with our overhead reverse lunges here. In 3, 2, 1, let's get it. Overhead lunges. All right. Our next one here is going to be bird dogs. So I'll keep doing these for a little bit, couple more seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll go into bird dog. So on our hands and knees, extending out, squeezing our glutes, bringing our arm out high. There we go. Nice and close. All right. Next will be dead bugs in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So opposite hand, opposite leg, pressing into your one knee, switching. And 5, we're doing glute bridges next. And 3, 2, 1. Glute bridges. So bridging up, squeezing our glutes, and dropping back down. Weird angle. Oh, like that. All right. And we're going back to overhead lunges here in 3, 2, 1. Back to overhead lunges. All right, going back to bird dogs here. In 3, 2, 1. Back to bird dogs. All right, then next one will be dead bugs once we're done with these in 5 seconds. So 3, 2, 1, going into dead bugs. Remember to make it a little bit tougher. Press into that knee. Harder you press into your knee, the harder your core will work. Good. All right, and then glute bridges. Going right into glute bridges. All right. And we're going back to overhead reverse lunges for one more round here. In 3, 2, 1. Overhead reverse lunges. Last warm-up round. All right, and bird dogs here. Switching. Bird dogs. There we go. Good. All right, and then back to dead bugs for one last round. Dead bugs. All right, then 3, 2, 1, glute bridges. Bridging up, squeezing the glutes, letting them back down. This is all about muscle activation, not reps for these. So really just making sure we're getting a good squeeze. Getting ready for these to help us with RDLs, with squats. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Awesome. All right. A little different warm-up, kind of nice. All right, here. So now I am going to pull up our 25-minute timer, and we're going to get into our strength AMRAP for this. So if you guys want to grab a drink really quick, if you want to get your weights ready, this will start off with that heel elevated squat, or just a squat if you don't have anything good to elevate your heels with. All right. And I'm gonna probably start for me a little lighter and then kind of add weight as I get a little heavier. But if you don't have that option, just push yourself. All right. Favorites. 25 minutes. That's the one. Okay. All right, guys. Starting here with those heel elevated squats. Starting in 10 seconds. All right. Heel elevated squats. In 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go. Really get down into these. Starting out with everything, 10 reps. Okay, good. Good, good, good. All right, once you are done with that, we're gonna be going into our RDLs. So those remaining deadlifts, straight leg deadlifts. So get ready, 10 of these. Nice and slow on the way down. There we go. And 10 for you for that. All right, good. All right. Then we're going into our push-ups with shoulder taps. All right. Tap, tap. Remember, good push-up form. Elbows back, not elbows. Make sure the elbows aren't jutting out to the sides. All right. After that, we have our single arm row. So whatever version of the row that you will be doing, do that. All right. And it'll be 10 on each side, obviously. And if your weight's light or easy for whatever movement you're doing, if you want to do it a little bit slower, do a long hold at the top. All really good intensity increasing techniques to make it more strength, since we've been pretty much doing 2 months of burns. All right, excellent. All right, then after that, we have dumbbell lateral raise. All right. So remember, if you only have one, you can do the single arm lateral raise. Whew. For these, even if you like cheat it a little bit, if the weight's too heavy, you have to cheat, like use your body to get it up. As long as you're trying to come down nice and slow, it'll still get good strength benefits from it. All right. After that, those kneeling halos. So one knee up, coming around. All right. Doing 10 in each direction. Remember making sure it goes nice and far behind your head to challenge your core. I want to really feel like you're getting stretched out. 10. All right. And switch knees. Seven. Yep, and once you're done, going back into those squats. Good job, Katie. All right. Good, yeah, back to heel, elevated squats. Going down to 9 reps also. Don't forget to drop down one for your reps. All right. Heel elevated squats. Eight. Yep, and then once you're done with the squats, back into your deadlifts. Nice and slow on these deadlifts. After you're done with your deadlifts, you'll go on your push-up with your shoulder taps. I think I actually did 10. Shoot. All right. Back to push-up with shoulder taps. Once you're done with your push-up shoulder taps, you'll go into your single arm rows. All right. Single arm rows after those shoulder taps. And 9. Oh. Yep, good. Lateral raises after those. All right, once you're done with your lateral raises, yep, kneeling, overhead halos. Whew. Six. All right, and then once again, when you're done with these halos, back into your squats. Ooh. All right. Remember, going down 1 rep, so only doing 8 reps for this third round. All right, after those deadlifts, so squat, deadlift, push-ups, rows, lateral raises, halos. All right. Oh, good. All right. Okay, let's push up position, shoulder touches. We have 12 minutes to go. All right. All right. When you're done, your push-ups, going into your rows. And the progression has been lower body, upper, 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 and then core. Eight. Try and get a hold if you can. And 8. All right, then through rows, lateral raises, and then halos. And once you have to do lateral raises, the more control you get, If you can't control it, by all means do it. All right, then halos. If we're done with these, squats, then deadlifts, and then push-ups and rows. All right. Remember, dropping that rep, so down to 7 now. Ooh. Oh. All right, 7 minutes to go. Oh. Okay. Remember, when these deadlifts, keeping that weight close to your body. And 7. All right, push-ups, then rows, then lateral raises. All right, then a row after you're doing push-ups. Good job, Jane. All the way on our halos. Seven, less than 5 minutes.
raises, then halos. And 7, now 7 halos. All right, then back to squats after this. Whew. Halos, squats, deadlifts, push-ups, rows. Whew. Lateral raises and halos. Whew. 3 minutes to go. Here we go. And 6. 2-minute warning. Oh. After your deadlifts, push-ups, rows. Whew. A little over a minute left. Ah. 30 seconds. Four. Two. All right, that is it. Y'all can stop, finish up what you're doing. Whew. Great work. Oh, that was a good one for Friday. I like some strength every now and again. I miss it. I hope you guys are challenged. Thanks for joining this Friday.
Yeah.